Okay, what we're going to do here is do a repair to a bolt that broke on my Yamaha PRO V 150 on a recent fishing trip. And you can see this is where the starter is, and this bolt hole right here broke out. We're going to do a repair on it with Stik Weld instead of replacing the whole block. Okay, the first thing you have to do is you have to prepare the sight so that the Stik Weld will hold to it. You have to grind all the paint off, get all the oil and stuff out of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to insert this bolt into position and Stik Weld over top of it, and then retap the hole. What you have to do is you have to put a release agent in there, and I'm going to use silicone grease in the threads and on the bolt so that it doesn't grab the Stik Weld. So you just get a little bit of that on here like this, so you can screw it into place, and when the Stik Weld gets hard, you can back it back out. But you don't want to get any grease on anything that you want that Stik Weld to stick to. We'll screw this bolt into position here. Making sure you don't get any excess on there. Now we're going to snug it down a little bit so that it's in place. I got a nut on here with a washer so that I can create the same form of what the block used to look like before it broke. And once we have that in position, we're going to mix up some Stik Weld and set this whole thing up. First thing you got to do when you get your sight ready is, in order for it to hold good on a break like this, you should drill some 1/8" holes along the broken area so that the Stik Weld will get in there and hold better. Now that we've got the Stik Weld stiffened up good, we're going to start applying it to the broken area and building it up so that we can finish our repair. You want to get yourself, get it over that bolt and squeeze it in there so that it conforms to the threads, and get that thing just exactly what you want. You got to force it in there good. Make sure that it goes in and get it all on there. You get that thing built up the way you want it so it's nice and strong. You can build it up a little bit more because you can foul this stuff, you can sand it, you can paint it. But try to get it on there nice and smooth. You can use a wet finger to smooth it out good. So you don't want to get it in places where you don't want it to stick. Like I'm trying to keep it off that washer and that nut. What I'm going to do is, it's getting pretty hard here. I'm going to get my water, wet my finger. I'm going to smooth this stuff out. This stuff sets up in about 4 minutes. That should do it. Okay, you can see that our repair with our Stik Weld is done. And I've taken my bolt out and tapped the hole out. Got everything ready. Got it shaped the way I want it. So I got clearance for my starter to go on. What we're going to do now is just put a little bit of paint on it, just to seal that area so that no wool or anything like that would happen to get in there would get into your Stik Weld. It's supposed to be impervious to oils and gases and stuff, but I think you should put a little paint on it anyway. Okay, we're going to let that dry, and then we're going to put the starter on, see how it works, put it back in service. I'm going to put my starter back on, put a little bit of Loctite on the bolts. Get some Loctite in the holes. There it is, nice and solid. I'm going to crank it over and see if it hits the flywheel in the right spot. As you could hear, it worked perfectly. Everything's nice and snug. And that's how you do a JB Weld repair. Probably saved myself $1,500, maybe more, if I would have had to change that half of that block just because of that one broken bolt hole.